Imagine standing on a mountain surrounded by swirling winds and breathtaking views. At your feet lies something so ancient, so mysterious, it could rewrite everything you thought you knew about history. What if I told you that scientists believe they've found Noah's Ark, the actual vessel that survived a world-destroying flood? We have discovered a strange, boat-shaped formation high in the mountains, in cold, unforgiving terrain. At first, it seemed like a coincidence, just an oddly shaped mound. But when researchers analyzed the area, they found something astonishing. Traces of human activity dating back over 5,000 years. The shape, size, and even the structure aligned with the biblical description of Noah's Ark. It wasn't just a pile of rocks, it was something more. The formation is located in an area known as the Darupinar Formation. To the naked eye, it might look like part of the mountain, but tests revealed minerals and patterns that could only come from human hands. Scientists carefully studied the soil and rocks, discovering signs of life in the region during the exact time of the Great Flood described in ancient texts. The findings were impossible to ignore. This isn't the first time people have claimed to find Noah's Ark, but none of those discoveries had evidence like this. Researchers have worked tirelessly, piecing together clues from the site, and each discovery pulls them closer to the truth. It's not just a question of history, it's a glimpse into the past, a window into a story that has inspired and mystified people for thousands of years. Noah's Ark isn't just a biblical tale, it's a part of human history. Flood stories appear in cultures across the globe, from the Epic of Gilgamesh in ancient Mesopotamia to legends among Native American tribes. Somehow, people everywhere have told similar stories, as if they all remember something too massive to forget. The discovery in Turkey feels like a key, one that could unlock the truth behind these shared myths. In 2021, a team of scientists from Turkey and the United States began a detailed analysis of the Darupinar Formation, a remote area on Mount Ararat. For decades, explorers have been fascinated by this site, which resembles a giant ship. It wasn't just its peculiar shape that drew attention, but its measurements. The structure spanned approximately 150 meters, closely mirroring the biblical description of the Ark's 300-cubit length. The team used advanced tools to analyze the rocks and soil. Laboratory tests revealed something extraordinary, signs of human activity dating back between 5,500 and 3,000 BC. This aligns perfectly with the timeline of the flood described in ancient texts. The evidence suggests that this wasn't a natural formation, but something shaped by human hands thousands of years ago. The soil samples told more stories. Deep within the formation, researchers found traces of life, indications that humans and possibly animals once occupied the area. The findings were undeniable, yet skeptics remain. Some argue that the structure could simply be a strange geological anomaly, a quirk of nature that happens to resemble a ship. But the evidence continues to pile up, leaving even the most doubtful minds uneasy. For believers, this discovery is powerful confirmation of the Bible's account. The Ark has always been a symbol of God's covenant, a promise to never destroy the earth by flood again. But for skeptics, it challenges deeply held views. The idea that an ancient, world-ending flood could be real shakes the foundation of modern understanding. Science and faith rarely meet so directly, and when they do, the results are often unsettling. Throughout history, discoveries like this have sparked fierce debates. In the 1950s, aerial photographs of Mount Ararat first revealed the strange boat-like shape that drew attention to the Darupinar Formation. Decades later, explorers claimed to find wooden beams buried in the area, adding to the mystery. Skeptics dismissed these claims as inconclusive, but now, with advanced technology and modern research, the evidence is harder to ignore. However, some contend that the discovery of the Ark won't alter people's beliefs. The Bible itself predicts this. If they do not hear Moses and the prophets, it says, Neither will they be convinced if someone should rise from the dead. For those who dismiss the divine, no discovery, no matter how monumental, will shake their disbelief. The account of Noah begins with an impossible task. Imagine being told to build a vessel so massive it could hold 2 of every kind of animal, enough food to last for months, and your own family, all with nothing but rudimentary tools and the sweat of your brow. Noah's faith in divine instruction was his only motivation. Day after day, year after year, he worked, enduring ridicule from those who couldn't see the storm looming on the horizon. This persistence reflects the essence of resilience, continuing forward even when doubt surrounds you. The Ark wasn't just a physical structure, it was a manifestation of faith in action. Noah believed that the storm would come, and each plank of wood served as a testament to his preparation. Noah's resilience faced new challenges when the floodwaters finally rose. He was no longer a builder, but a survivor, confined to a massive dark vessel filled with restless animals and uncertain futures. Floating on an endless sea with no land in sight, he must have felt moments of fear, isolation, and perhaps even despair. Yet he trusted the divine promise that this was not the end, but a new beginning. The Ark itself becomes a powerful symbol of divine guidance. Noah and his family designed the Ark with precision and care to withstand the storm, not just as a vessel for their safety. The Bible describes exact dimensions and specific materials, such as cypress wood and waterproofing pitch. These details highlight the idea that God provides not just direction, but the tools needed to overcome the challenges ahead. Noah's patience during the flood mirrors the human experience of waiting on divine timing. For nearly a year, he floated with no clear end in sight. The rain stopped, but the waters didn't recede immediately. There was no rush, no shortcut, only the slow, steady unfolding of God's plan. The story of Noah's Ark is one of the most captivating accounts in the Bible, spanning several chapters in the book of Genesis. God chooses a righteous man to preserve life on earth during a period of immense corruption and violence. The narrative begins in Genesis 6:5-8, where God observes the wickedness of humanity. Grieved by what he sees, the Lord decides to bring a flood to cleanse the earth. Yet he finds favor in Noah, a man of faith and integrity. Genesis 6:14-16 details God's instructions to Noah. He commands Noah to construct an ark out of gopher wood, carefully outlining its dimensions: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. The ark is to have 3 levels, a door on the side, and a roof with an opening for ventilation. This precision highlights the importance of obedience and attention to detail in following God's plan. In Genesis 6:17-22, God reveals his intent to bring a catastrophic flood that will destroy every living creature on the surface of the earth. However, he establishes a covenant with Noah, promising safety for him, his family, and pairs of all living creatures. Noah's unwavering faith is evident as he meticulously follows every instruction, building the massive vessel exactly as commanded. Genesis 7:1-9 describes the gathering of the animals. God instructs Noah to bring 7 pairs of clean animals, 1 pair of unclean animals, and 7 pairs of birds to ensure the survival of every species. As the rain begins, Noah, his family, and the animals enter the ark. God himself shuts the door, sealing them in and initiating the deluge. The floodwaters rise in Genesis 7:10-24, covering even the tallest mountains to a depth of 15 cubits. For 40 days and nights the rain pours relentlessly, and every living thing outside the ark perishes. The ark, however, floats safely on the waters, preserving its precious cargo. The floodwaters remain for 150 days, demonstrating the completeness of God's judgment while highlighting his protection of those within the ark. In Genesis 8:1-5, we see the turning point. God remembers Noah and all aboard the ark, causing the waters to recede. The ark comes to rest on the mountains of Ararat as the earth slowly begins to dry. Noah sends out a raven and later a dove to determine whether the land is habitable again, Genesis 8:6-12. The dove returns with an olive leaf, signaling that life is beginning to emerge once more. When the ground is finally dry, God commands Noah to leave the ark in Genesis 8:15-19. Noah and his family step onto a cleansed earth, accompanied by the animals that will repopulate it. In gratitude, Noah builds an altar and offers sacrifices to the Lord, a gesture that pleases God. In Genesis 8:20-22, God promises never to curse the ground or destroy all living creatures again, despite humanity's inclination towards sin. Genesis 9:8-17 solidifies this promise by establishing a covenant with Noah, his descendants, and all living creatures. The rainbow becomes the symbol of this covenant, a reminder of God's mercy and faithfulness. This divine assurance brings the story full circle, emphasizing both judgment and grace. The story of Noah's Ark isn't just a biblical narrative, it resonates across cultures and civilizations, appearing in various forms throughout human history. While the specifics differ, the core themes of a great flood, divine intervention, and survival through preparation are remarkably consistent. This widespread presence highlights its cultural and historical significance, transcending religious boundaries and reflecting a shared human experience. In Mesopotamia, one of the world's oldest civilizations, the Epic of Gilgamesh contains a strikingly similar flood narrative. Written around 2100 BCE, it predates the biblical account by centuries. A god warns the hero Utnapishtim of an impending deluge that aims to purge the earth of corruption in this tale. He receives instructions to construct a massive boat in order to save his family and various animals. The parallels to Noah's story, divine judgment, a large vessel, and the preservation of life are unmistakable, demonstrating how flood myths were central to early human attempts to explain natural disasters and divine will. Flood legends also appear in the ancient Hindu text Satapatha Brahmana. In this version, a fish warns the sage Manu of a catastrophic flood, which he then protects. In return, the fish guides him to build a boat and save himself, seeds, and animals. Once again, the themes of forewarning, salvation, and renewal surface, bridging cultures and traditions separated by vast distances. Among Native American tribes, the oral traditions of the Hopi and the Mi'kmaq recount great floods. In the Hopi story, higher powers send a water disaster as a punishment for humanity's moral failings. The Mi'kmaq instruct survivors to seek refuge on high ground or build vessels to preserve their existence. Similarly, the Mi'kmaq recount a flood that their creator God sent, ensuring only those who followed divine instructions survived. These accounts suggest that human consciousness deeply roots the idea of divine cleansing through water. Anthropologists argue that the universality of flood myths may stem from ancient peoples' attempts to make sense of actual catastrophic events. Geological studies suggest that massive flooding events, such as those caused by the end of the last ice age or the bursting of the Black Sea, left lasting impressions on early human societies. These events, occurring thousands of years ago, could have inspired collective memories that evolved into mythologies over generations. In modern times, the story of Noah's Ark and its global counterparts continues to inspire art, literature, and film. These narratives remind us of humanity's resilience and the enduring hope for redemption. They are not merely relics of the past, but active components of a shared cultural memory, weaving together threads of history, spirituality, and the human spirit's determination to endure. The Ark is more than an ancient story. It is a narrative that has stood the test of time, transcending culture, religion, and geography. Countless traditions around the world echo this narrative, each recounting a catastrophic flood and the resilience needed to survive it. These tales are not simply remnants of the past, but living reminders of humanity's enduring spirit and its relationship with forces beyond comprehension. Universal truths permeate the story. It speaks of survival during overwhelming odds, the importance of moral integrity, and the resilience of the human spirit when guided by faith. Noah's decision to follow divine instructions, even when faced with ridicule, showcases the courage to act against the tide of skepticism. His persistence in building the Ark and his trust during the long, uncertain days of the flood serve as enduring examples of faith in action. What makes the story truly timeless, however, is its relevance to our lives today. The Ark's themes, faith, preparation, and renewal, continue to resonate. In a world fraught with challenges, from environmental crises to societal upheaval, the lessons of the Ark offer a blueprint for navigating the storms we face. It serves as a reminder that even in chaos, we can find hope, that there is light beyond the darkness, and that trust and action forge resilience. If you are enjoying this story, consider supporting the content by clicking the Super Thanks button below. Your support is fueling the creation of new insights, spreading knowledge, and illuminating the way for more content like this. For others, it serves as a metaphor for human ingenuity and determination. Regardless of interpretation, the Ark is a testament to the power of belief, the value of preparation, and the promise of renewal. Its story challenges us to think about our role in the world, our connection to each other, and our relationship with the divine. It is a reminder that even in the most overwhelming circumstances, there is a way forward if we are willing to trust, prepare, and persevere. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.